Hey, good day, family. Welcome to another YouTube video with me, your host, Mathics Mahlangu. Now, we're continuing on. I hope you're enjoying this particular series. We're continuing on with the chakra series. Now, today we are on our third chakra, or our third center of development. So we already looked at the root chakra, and we've spoken about how it deals with survival and fear. And we spoke about the ages of development. Yesterday, we looked at the sacral chakra. So now today we're jumping into the solar plexus, which is the third center to develop within humanity or within a human being's body as he matures. So now, the third chakra is called, first of all, the solar plexus. It is called the solar plexus. It is yellow in color and it deals with the element of fire. So the sacral is water, the root is earth. So now the solar plexus deals with fire. It is the third center of development in your body, and it develops around the ages of 7 to 14. Now, when you are in the ages of 7 to 14, what happens? This is where you start to deal with who you are in the world in terms of your personality. So the third chakra deals with willpower. It deals with your will, who you are in the world. Are you the cool kid? Are you the nerdy one? Are you the one? Are you the introvert? This is where you begin to find your place in the world. It deals with your personal will. It is basically your sun. It is your solar plexus. It is your sun plexus. It is your fire. It is what determines what drives you in the world. This is why when you always when you have to do a speech in front of people, sometimes you get butterflies where in your belly, in your stomach, is because that's where your power is. It's your sense of power. What are they going to think of me? Oh my word. So you feel it in your power. Now, this particular chakra, since it deals with power, it can be blocked by certain energies, and it is blocked by the energy, first of all, of greed. So when you are greedy, you harm the solar plexus. And also shame because you are shameful of who you are as a person. So those energies of greed and shame, they block this particular chakra. So how you work with it is to basically practice givingness. This is how you begin to work with your solar plexus. You practice the giving nature, being giving, understanding who you are, being comfortable with your body. You heal it by affirming your place in the world and acknowledging who you are and what it is that you are. And this is how you begin out to work with this particular chakra. And you can also work with the chakra by doing color therapy, working with yellow crystals, which you can check out on my Twitter, by working with by being out, sun gazing. You also help to heal your solar plexus. You can eat certain types of foods, bananas, the yellow food, and that also works with that because it's a vibration that deals with the solar plexus. Now, let's get a little deep here. This one is going to get a little deep, so I need you to fasten your seatbelt. But then, we deep with it anyway because it's how we are. So now, on a biblical level, the solar plexus is called Bethlehem. It is the house of bread where Jesus is born. Now, Bethel means house and Lahem means bread. So Bethlehem, if you look up the origin of the word or the etymology behind the word Bethlehem, it means house of bread, which is where Jesus is born, right? They say that Jesus is born in a manger. And what happens in the belly? What happens in your stomach? It was where feces and whatnot takes place. So that's the manger that Jesus was born in. Now, let me explain that by going even a little step deeper into this. So now, in the cranium, in your head, you have the cerebrum, right? And now we're going to look at, in particular, what we call the claustrus. So there is the claustrus that sits in the middle of the head. Now, in the claustrus, there is a fluid that is secreted there. Now, this fluid is an oil. This is what the whole Bible is talking about. This fluid is an oil. Now, this oil is released from the claustrum, and then from there it flows down your spinal cord, right? And then it travels down the spine into the sacral chakra, which is connected to a bone there, a 5-fused bone called the sacrum, just above the coccyx, just by the base of the spine. So now, the sacral chakra is connected to the sacrum, which is where we get the word secret from. The word secret comes from secretion. So now the sacrum is the secret part of the secretion. Let me say that again. The sacrum is the secret part of the secretion, which comes from the head, from the claustrum. So now, as this energy flows down, it rests and waits at the sacral chakra for the birth of a particular seed. There is a germ that is born every month when the moon is in the sign that you were born in. So every month this happens. There's a seed, there is a germ seed born where? In the solar plexus. So this energy awaits for that birth of this particular seed at the solar plexus. This seed is born at the solar plexus, and this energy awaits for that at the sacral chakra, which is what we spoke about yesterday. So now, when the moon is in the sign that your sun was in when you were born, this seed is born. And when this seed is born, when you do not lose it through sexual, lustful activities, this seed travels back up the spine, right? From whence it came. But now this fluid it travels up the spine using or with that particular seed. And now the energy of this particular fluid or this oil is accelerated, or the energy of it is much more potent as it travels up the spine to come now anoint you by going into the medulla oblongata, which is also symbolic, where Jesus said that man shall not live on bread alone, but out of every word that cometh forth from the mouth of God. In Gnosticism, they call the medulla oblongata the mouth of God. So this is where your personal Akashic records are set in. Your medulla oblongata deals with memory. This could be modern memory and even ancient memory. This is like your storage house here. So when this energy enters into the medulla oblongata, it enters into the mouth of God. And then now this energy travels to come kiss your pineal gland, and then it illuminates you and awakens you into Christ consciousness. And then you are born again. So now this energy or this particular seed is born at the sacral, which is your solar plexus. This is why they say that Jesus was born in Bethlehem, because that's the solar plexus. So the seed is born in your solar plexus, your sun plexus, and then it travels up your spine. This is why when you watch movies like Shrek or things like that, there is always a princess or a jewel that is guarded by a particular dragon or a snake. That snake or that dragon is symbolic of your intestines. You know, they sit on top, your intestines sit on top of this kundalini energy which rests at the base of the spine, which you must go now into the underworld or go into the cave to resurrect and bring up. So they say that Jesus will sit at the right hand of the Father. The Father is the cerebrum. So once Jesus is born in Bethlehem, he raises up, or that energy raises up and travels up your spine, which is the narrow path, which is what they call the narrow path in the Bible. Walk ye through the narrow path. That's your spinal cord. There's a verse in the Bible in Colossians 1, 25 to 26. I'm going to read it for you. It says in verse 20, from verse 25, it says, no, verse 26. The mystery that has been kept hidden for ages and generations, but now is disclosed to the Lord's people. To them, God has chosen to make known among the Gentiles the glorious riches of this mystery, which is the Christ in you, the hope of all glory. So the Christ is within you. This oil is within you. And this oil is what liberates you from the desert. It is what liberates you from the physical body. It is what liberates you from the temptations. Jesus also, when he talks to Peter, he says that I forgot the particular book it is, but it's in the New Testament. He says that I am Peter, and upon this rock is the pineal gland because it's as hard as a rock. It looks like a pine cone. He says, I am Peter, Peter meaning the minerals, the rock. So Peter is the third eye. He says, I am Peter, and upon this rock I shall build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. The gates of hell being that the lower passions, when the lower emotions, lust, envy, greed, when they come to the head, they cannot prevail. They cannot influence you to act them out, because now you have been what? You have been illuminated. So this is very, very profound. You cannot just read the Bible and take it at face value. This is a very, 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 very profound book. And you need to begin to understand it in this way. It also speaks about this in Revelations when they are talking about the opening of the seven seals. That's what they are dealing with. They are dealing with this. They are dealing with the opening of these particular chakras or centers within you. My brothers and sisters, it is all within you. It is symbolic. It is symbolic of the knowledge that God has embedded within your biology. I'll give you one last example. The priesthood, or the people who are dealing with these particular holidays, they know this knowledge because they studied at the feet, or their ancestors, as they passed down the knowledge to them. They not only did some of them steal the knowledge, but some of them, they studied at the feet of the masters in ancient Egypt and Kemet, and so they learned this particular knowledge. This is where you get now these stories of Santa Claus bringing gifts down the chimney. Listen to this. Santa Claus, you are dealing with what? With the sacrum at the bottom, which is where you get the word Santa. Claus is the claustrum, which is what secretes this oil, which is the gift that they are talking about. The Christ within you is the gift. It is that oil. So Santa Claus brings gifts down the chimney. The chimney is the spine. So it brings gifts down the spinal cord, right? So that's where they get that. Santa Claus. Claustrum, the sacrum, the secret secretion that comes from the cerebrum, the high father. And then the son born in Bethlehem ascends to sit at the... This is all within you. This is the genius. This is the genius that has been left behind in Holy Scriptures. This is nothing but a little taste of who it is that you really are. This is the secret of the ages. These are the parables of the masters that they speak about in Proverbs. That, do you understand the dark sayings, the riddles of the wise? Because it's all talking about you. It is talking about this oil inside of you. It is talking about this particular ability, this Holy Spirit that must rise within you and cause you to speak in tongues, to know the mysteries of the universe as you. And all of it is born where? In your solar plexus, in this seed right here. In this seed right here. So in a nutshell, that's it. I'm going to do a much more detailed video about this sacred secretion at another time, but right now we were just focusing on that, the solar plexus. So remember, the ages of 0 to the ages of 14 to 21, that is when you are in your personal power, your willpower. That is when you are learning who you are in the world, what it is that what are you about? Because you've come through the individual phase, you've learned about the other sexes. Now, who are you? What are you about? So this is what this chakra deals with. And most people stop developing at this chakra of power. So most people in the world who are grown up, they're only dealing with survival, sex, and power. They cannot get to the fourth chakra, which we're going to speak about in the next episode. So in a nutshell, once again, peace, love, and light to you all, family. Much love.